Hello people from YouTube, my name is Zadarkus and I welcome you to another Bronze to Diamond episode. In today's episode I'm going to talk about picks and bans. The first thing that any person must learn to advance their gameplay is to simply learn what is and what is not good to pick. While this comes naturally to some, and some people will hate what I say, not every character is always good in every situation. An example of this would be picking Teemo to go top lane when the enemy team is picking Ariana and Cannon or Pantheon and Cassiopeia. As I said, most people will learn this naturally, but it's easier to see if I explain it more in depth, and I am going to do it now. With that said, bans are important. Let's say you are the first ban. This means that you are also going to be the first guy picking. This means that you can take a OP champion by not banning it yourself. This could mean leaving people open such champions like Yasuo, Fizz and Vi, the characters that are seen as OP. Now one thing I will caution you against though, is picking these characters simply because people say they are good. Do not pick characters that you don't know how to play. Again, this may seem common sense to most people, but some people see that shiny new character or see that Yasuo is open and jump right on them and lose their lane due to sheer lack of experience. And there's no one more to blame than yourself. But back to bans. Let's say you actually do play Yasuo and play him well. Leaving him open for an extended period of time might let their team take him from you, so you want to pick him early. But the problem is that if you first pick him, you leave the rather large possibility of getting yourself counterpicked. So find out what counters your champion. Some have just one counter, some have many, and ban that character. Saving your other two bans for champions that are mostly seen as really strong, or you think that the other team wants. In the end, banning becomes pretty standard in solo queue. Banning Flavor of the Month characters and characters that are seen as OP is as well a daily basis experience. If you are the first pick and do not know what to ban, ask your teammates. No one is going to be mad at you for caring about what they have to say. Now, picking is almost completely different than banning. While there are certain intricacies that barely exist in solo queue, they can still be applied if you have a team that is willing to cooperate. Let's say you want to play AD carry and you are second pick, and the enemy team first picks their AD carry. What this means is that now you are in absolutely no rush to pick your character. They have already picked theirs, and unless they are going to do something unorthodox like AP Kog'Maw or top lane AD carry, they are not going to pick another AD carry. Now what you can do is communicate with your team and trade with them to take more characters that they are good and are good in the meta, or that counter the champions that the enemy team has already picked and locked in, instead of picking your AD carry, so you can even pick it at last. A very easy example of this is if they pick Ashe. Ashe is an AD carry that does not have escapes aside from her flash and her ultimate if used defensively, and even that doesn't work that well with Mercury threads. What this means is that if you are going to pick a character that has a close gap, you very likely will be able to stick to her. Lee Sin, Riven, Kassadin, Fizz, and things of this nature counterpick Ashe while not even being in her lane because of her lack of escapes in the teamfights. The last thing that I would like to say is that the two safest picks are the AD carry and the jungler. If you pick your mid or your top lane before they do, you risk yourself of being counterpicked. While the AD carry and the jungler can also be counterpicked, there are a few ways to, and even more picks to make up for their counterpick. And an example of this is picking something like Sejuani, who is quite easy to invade in her jungle. The enemy team picks Shyvana and decides to just do that. You can now pick with your team things like Nidalee or Cannon, people who move quickly through the map so that when she does invade, you can catch her in the act. If you first pick AD carry and they counter you with a support, you pick Tristana and they pick Jaina for example, your support can now counter them by picking a heavy sustain like Sona or Taric, and you can go for a poke bot lane instead of an engaged bot lane. Now let's recap what we talked about. Ban what gives you trouble. Ask what your team wants banned, use the trade function in your advantage, pick against the enemy team, pick hard things to get counterpicked. Although I feel like I have said a lot for some people just starting out, there is so much more to be said that I am going to add in another video as we move on in this series of Bronze to Diamond. This video in particular is more aimed to relatively new players. Of course, if the series are talking about Bronze to Diamond, we need to start on the easy stuff, moving up to the harder stuff, but I want everybody to have a solid background. Now I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to check out my other videos about Bronze to Diamond guides and just my fast tips that I have in my training school playlist, or have some fun browsing my channel with some cool montages and full games with commentary that can help you as well. I promise you at least 4 to 5 videos every week. My name has been Zadarkus. Be awesome, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.
Surprise, motherfucker!